comes over or comes over in a bit, whether I'm speaking to people now or not. That's okay. I am renewing. Hi, Roberts. Yeah, Happy New Year, Happy New Earth to you. Because I'm actually frigging painting my kitchen. It took a long time to paint this kitchen because I didn't know what colour to paint it. I got more into my art than painting the kitchen, but my fella painted it out white. It's only a small kitchen, so it's not going to take any time, but I've just been thinking about the colour. Do I leave it white? But then I've got white cabinets. I've got white cabinets, so maybe a bit white on white's probably too much. And there's not a lot of wall space. We've got like glass, I don't know if you can see that on the back there is like glass splashback thing, so there's not a lot of wall, so it's not going to take too much. Hi James, hi Junior Drive, Happy New Year, Happy New Year. So I've chosen the colour. It's probably not going to come out right on this camera because this camera just doesn't, to me when I'm looking at it, doesn't give anything any colour. I look as pale as anything. On my side I do, and I'm not this pale. I don't know what it's like on your side, but don't know if this colour is going to come up as the colour it is. It might come up a bit lighter, I think, but it looks like duck egg blue, but it's actually darker than a duck egg blue, because I love duck egg blue, but it's called ostrich egg blue, so it's slightly a bit darker. And we thought, even though it's a small kitchen and dark can make it look smaller, all the cabinets are white, so there's more white than there is this colour, so we're just thinking, yeah, it should look good. So maybe I'll give you a mini tour when it's actually done. So I just thought, while I was just cutting in over here, I'd just come and have a mini chat while I'm just sat on the floor. Because even though I like painting, painting, I'm not really into like this sort of painting, but that's okay. So my fella has gone on, yes, where we go on, we go on. I know it's going to be a big boom year this year, but that's for others to know, isn't it? I'm not really here now. This is another New Year thing to convince anyone of anything anymore, or to do people's journeys, because it's their journeys to do themselves. It's just what it is, and if people can't see, then people can't see. That's nothing to do with me no more. So I'm just looking at all the white in my hair. See it? Just looks like highlights. I can't believe I haven't had the urge to dye it. I mean, I've had the urge. Look at these. I call them wisdom hairs and your halo, but whatever. But I haven't had the urge. Happy New Year to Mary as well. Is it Mary? I can never say that name. The urge to dye it yet, because I actually do like them. You're probably thinking, what white hair? But yeah, I haven't. I may do, I don't know. I'm just hoping that the more I leave it, the more it'll come in, because I know it's really hard as time goes on. If you want to bring the grain, and then you have to like sort your hair out, strip the colour out and all that. So I'm just trying to leave it as long as I can, because I don't actually think, I think it looks all right. And I do actually like it, but we will see. Hi, Dobsy, Happy New Year. Yes, it's going to be a good 2022. That's all I'm saying. I'll talk about that in a minute as I'm painting. I'm going to try and talk as I'm painting, and if not, I'll have to just have a little break and then go back into it. But I'm going to try and paint as I'm talking. I'm going to try and... Which bit am I cutting into? I'm cutting into the bit behind you. I've got some mini roller brushes because the big ones are too big for these little walls. So I'm going to move you around, and if you see any mess in the background, it's just because we've had to take everything out of the kitchen and sort of got my Yorkshire tea bags in the background. Yorkshire tea like tea used to be. Reminds me of my nana because she was from Yorkshire. Oh yeah, I got Yorkshire tea bags. I just wanted to say thank you for everyone who's been supporting me on when I'm showing my artwork, because I am still finishing this lovely giraffe off. I think he's coming out very beautifully. He's not got all his body in yet, but I think he's coming out. I don't think I've ever drawn a giraffe before. I don't normally draw animals. So in the new year, I want to do all the things that I'm not normally comfortable with. Happy New Year, Danny and Mighty Atom. Thank you. You know, because... And then I go and draw a giraffe, and I'm thinking it's looking pretty cool. Look at that. So when I do some of my animals, I may put a collection of, my fellow was saying, you know, maybe you could do like some African sort of themed animals as a collection, print them off, and I think that's what I'm going to do. this chat's going to be everywhere because I don't know where it's starting. But with the new year, you know, I do art, I do sell bits of jewellery, I do this. I have had some things out. Some things, because I started working, have gone to the back burner because I'm quite tired, but I still try and do bits. But this year, my fellow was saying, it doesn't matter, you've got to push through it. You've got to do it, you know, in the end, if you want something where you don't have to do the job that you're doing now, or you want more free time to, you know, put a business together, you need to do it and do it and do it. So that's what I'm doing, and I've got to pump it out. So I think as artists, sometimes you look at things, you went, oh, I don't know if they're good enough. Maybe I said I was going to put that out, but I'm not sure. But I think we've just got to release the beast. We've just got to release it. And my fellow was saying he's a biggest supporter, fan of my artwork, because I got him into art and we want to put something together. But he was like, you know, looking back on some of your drawings, be proud of what's coming out now, but look back at some of them and get some of them printed off, because some of them, and I do that, I look at them and think, oh, I quite like that one, when am I going to print this out? He's like, no more thinking about it, because I am a bit of a, oh, I want to think about it. He's like, just do it. Doesn't matter if you're not good at the business side, doesn't matter, just get them out. So to me, who just came in, and happy New Year, Lisa, my angel. Thank you for keeping us all sane last year. Love your new blossom sent to you and your family. Love a new one. Oh, thank you. Hi, National. Yeah, I mean, that's a lovely comment, Lisa. I believe I was here to keep people a little bit sane with what's been going on in the past 2 years, to not get caught up in the what's been going on. To this chat's going to be everywhere. It's going to get split because there's been a lot of shit going down, and it was a big divide in a spiritual sense, and it's all right for people to have their opinions. At first, you know, I had to shout out everything out, and even where I'm working now, I hear people talking about conversations of for and against certain things. You know, I'm not bringing this up, we all know what it is, and I don't get triggered by it now. It's like people's choices. I think if you're strong in a belief anyway, you'll be all right. But I do believe it was one of the biggest turning points, and it was the Great Divide, if you can, and it's still going to divide this year. It still is. And I had a discussion yesterday with someone very close, and it turned into a bit of a debate where I didn't lose my shit, but I held my ground and was like, I'm not even going to go into it, but it was one of them. But I also saw that it was a bit of a weird day yesterday for me. It started off well, then it went a bit weird because there was a bit of frustration with talking about certain things being seen on very many different levels and stages. And then it went calm again, and then we went into the new year and it was brilliant, and we had a little fire, and I did my burnings of what I want to get rid of this year, this, that and the other. I'm not here to show people or to tell people. That's up for them to go through the journey and find out what they need to know. But I learned not to get too caught up in stuff, and that's why I've always been on here saying, find your joy, find your joy, find your joy, find your joy. My joy is my art, whether that's making jewellery or drawing and painting, making bits and bobs, because I do all sorts. I paint, I draw, I do jewellery, I stitch on purses now and again, and bags. I've stitched on bags before, print on bags, paint on bags, canvas bags, and I dip back into things when I feel like it, but I find my joy in them things, because I'd put 2 Dolores Cannon videos out before, and if you don't know about Dolores Cannon, you really need to, I might do some card readings this year, to re-go over them. And if you're not acquainted with Dolores Cannon, then maybe you need to be. Now, I've had a, what do they call it, a QH session, I can't remember what they're called, but anyway, not going into all that. The things I need to burn would have got me in trouble. I just mean on paper what you want to release from your old programming and your habits and shit like that you know don't work for you. That's what it's all about. It's about going in this year now that we're in. If you learn what didn't work for you last year, it could be anything, being a bit lazy, or I can be a bit lazy, this, that and the other, then you've got to change that, because the only way you will change in the world around you is when you change them things that are not working for you. Like Dolores Cannon said, a lot of us know Dolores Cannon, as in, you know, if you've known of her, to be the light, you need to be like, you came here to learn. It's a school. People go on about bad things that happen to them. We all have shit that happens to them. I have shit that happens to me. I don't talk about it on here because I don't need to. There's enough doom and gloom. And you know, it does help people, but I've talked about that stuff in the past and I'm working through it, and I don't get so triggered through what I would say was happening to me or bad, because I know it's a learning that I actually gave myself when I came here to learn something that I didn't learn before. So when you look at it like that, it's like, it's not that bad, and nothing's ever as bad as you make out. All it is victim state mentality, which I've talked about before, which you've got to let go of. You're only doing the thing to yourself of keeping yourself in that consciousness of woe is me. This is, lots of people do it, we all do it. But then when you step out of it and think, well, it's the fear that's keeping you trapped there. Once you move from that, and move forward and let go, and like I've said, reflect and look at the shit that isn't working for you, because it's like Dolores Cannon said in one of the last videos I just put up, and it's well said, the only person it's hurting by not forgiving someone or not forgiving the situation or letting go is you. It's not hurting the other person. You know, I've had people, we all know the story of people have been on here on YouTube and saying all this, that and the other. It's not hurting me, it's just hurting a person who talks about stuff, you know, or out there. If someone's constantly going on about someone, the only person it's hurting is that person who's constantly going on about it. It's not hurting the other person, because they'll just be getting on with their lives and doing the thing. People get caught up in stories and so on and so forth. So that's what people have got to realise, and that's all I've been on here to really put out. I mean, if people don't like that, then fanfare Rianne, because like I said, we're all on a journey, we're all learning, we all come here to learn different things, we all do it differently and we all understand it differently. Even I had a conversation with my boyfriend yesterday, and it did get a bit of a heat debate, but it was fine after, because he will say certain things, and sorry men, some men are not very good at communicating, and he knows he isn't, so he'll come out and sort of say the wrong thing or in the wrong tone, and I'm like, yeah, I understand. And he's always like, yeah, but you always say, you know. I'll go, because I do know. I know what you're talking about. I know how you feel. I understand. I see your energy. I know when you're in a mood. I know, blah, blah, blah. But you've got to realise that you came here to do yours and I came here to do mine. And sometimes it's not always learned the same. People have to make mistakes. It's like he doesn't want me and my family making certain mistakes. Everybody makes mistakes or little hiccups or something. And I sort of said, yeah, it is nice when you have guidance, but not when someone's trying to force it or control it, because if you don't learn, as I've said before, it yourself, the way you understand it, you won't learn it properly, so you're just going to recycle back in it. As Dolores kind of said, come back, get in that karmic wheel, because you've not learned it. It's the only way you're going to learn it. And even if it takes you a few times to understand it, the thing that you need to move from, people can't do it for you. You've got to do it yourself. I can sit on here and say stuff till I'm blue in the face, and some people are not going to get it. And that's another thing I've learned last year, looking forward now. Looking back on last year, is there will be some people out there, yeah, it is the ego. Well, yeah, and the ego's in men and women as well. Yeah, it's very big, yes. And the ego is to do with fear as well. It's to do with people that stay in fear and victim state mentality. That's the ego. Don't want to let go. But I've learned last year, I've learned a lot of things about myself where I need to move forward to. I don't need to explain it on here because that's for me. But there is one thing I have learned. It doesn't matter what you say, what you try to put out. There will always be people that will not resonate with you. That's fine, because I've always said to people, if you don't resonate, don't watch. That's life. There will always be people, it's sad, but I do believe as well there'll be people that just will never change. They'll never change. Hi, Effie, Happy New Year. They'll never change because, hi, Vicky, Happy New Year. They're just in too much fear. Because the new is probably quite scary in a sense, because we don't know it, because it's new. So they'd rather stay in the old. And this isn't about people on YouTube, because there's people out there that think I'm talking about them when I'm not. I'm talking about life as it happens with everybody. Is they'll stay more in the fear because they know it. So they're comfortable in the fear, even though it's not a nice energy to be in, because they sort of know what's going to happen, you know, and shit like that. It's called faith. Have a bit of faith. Hi, Jane of Talkie. I love how some of you that I haven't seen on for a bit are in. Brilliant. Hello, lovely Dolly, wishing you. Yes, Happy New Year to Jane of Talkie. And this goes back sort of full circle to this lovely giraffe that I'm drawing, because like I said, I don't think I've drawn a giraffe before. Like I said, I don't normally draw animals. It's normally angels, women's faces and stuff like that. And I do believe I was honing that energy a bit ago, because I have, personally, I've had an angelic communication. It's going a bit fairy realm now, but angelic communication, whether people believe that or not, that's up to them, but that's my experience. Hi, David's Cafe, and Happy New Year. I thought, yesterday I was like, I'm going to draw a giraffe. I don't know how it's going to turn out, but I'm not going to think about it. I'm just going to do it. And I've got faith in me, with my skills so far, that I'll be able to do it. And so I don't really think about, oh, I'm going to do, I just sort of drew it. And like I said, it's not all put in yet. It's not all shaded in, but it's there. And I had to have faith with that, because I do have faith in myself, and I do have the pencil power, as I was laughing my head off last night when we had a bit of music on that I put on my community page. I did go a bit sporadic over there because I'd had a few drinks. I wasn't that drunk, but I wasn't really drunk. But hi, happy New Year, Lois, and Revolution Revisited, because oh, what was it? Yeah, was it I've Got the Power? Love that song. But I was like, I've got pencil power. Got to have a laugh. Too many people are too serious. But yes, so I had to, yeah, I'm really chuffed with that giraffe. And then I looked up the spiritual meaning of a giraffe. I would start drawing. It was beautiful. It means balance. And I thought, well, isn't that what's coming to the world? And isn't that what we're trying to bring within? Also, I've got some water up there with some, I would say, sacred geometry water, because I got my singing bowl out yesterday, and my fella filmed it, and I'll get him to do it again, and we put water in it. If you've ever seen it when the water starts dancing, obviously because the sound's going through it, and it started, I'd say, dancing, it was all making a noise, and there was a square coming out. Oh god, it was beautiful, like Sanskrit and all that. But I was just like, oh, it's beautiful. So what I decided to do is drink the water that I put in it. That's at the heart chakra vibrations frequency through it. I thought, yeah, I'm gonna drink that. That's just me being weird. And we had a song on last night. I can't remember what it was. An old song about being weird, and my fella was like liking a girl who was weird, and he was like, yes, like you in it. And I'm like, yeah, he wants to be normal. So also yesterday we went in the garden. I don't know if anyone's had this experience. We've got 17 in the house, so happy new year to number 17 and the team, if you know what I'm saying. Send the South Coast my love. Oh yeah, send the South Coast my love. Giraffe looks great. I've told you my dad was an artist, so it's not sculpted. Yeah. Finn's a bit of an artist as well. Yeah, good vibrations. Yesterday we had a bit of a fire. We were just burning bits of Christmas stuff off, boxes and shit and wood. And we've noticed this, me and my fella, and I don't know if you have. We had a bit of a dance on Earth, a giraffe photograph. Yeah. On Earth, because that's a big thing if you dance on Earth. So it was having a bit of a patter about on the Earth, and we were looking at the stars. Now it was a bit cloudy, and this always happens, and all of a sudden it's always like a circle. It's like your energy, spiraling up. A circle of sky came in with all the stars, and all the cloud had moved around in a circle. And me and my fellow have mentioned this before, and then the whole sky cleared. It was just stars. So we're looking at Orion's belt and different things, and we're like, oh yeah. And it was really, really clear. And then all of a sudden, because I'd seen some sylphs earlier on, if you know what sylphs are, the air spirits. If you don't, I'm not going into that now. I've spoke about before. I was like, in the car when we were looking at something that I'll tell you about in the future, and we were like, but the shops weren't really open, so we couldn't really look properly, but I'll tell you about that again. I was like, in my head, talking to myself, like, oh, yeah. Anyway, I did sort of say, oh, could have some like angel visions that appear. Some people believe in this, some people don't. That's fine. Anyway, last night this wispy cloud came in from nowhere, and it had cleared, and I said to my fella, and I couldn't take a picture of it because I know for a fact it'd be about minuscule and wouldn't look like, it just wouldn't come out as a good picture on my phone anyway. And I looked up and went, oh my god. Now, because I've been drawing pictures on fairies and stuff for the Fae, and I do paint angelic stuff as well, it was just like these big, and butterflies, big butterfly wing came in. And can you see that? Oh my God, that's beautiful on the eve of New Year's Eve, butterfly wing, because it's butterflies about to do with transformation, and that's what we're all going through, the transformation, the ascension, whatever, in consciousness. So then I saw like a fairy girl, and it was like wings side on, and it could have been quite angelic as well. I was like, can you see that? And he's like, yeah, I can see it. And all of a sudden, this big cloud came in, and that was it. The whole sky was covered up. You could see no stars, no nothing. It just all got covered up in a big smog, and it was like, oh. But I just saw that at the right time. So that gave me a lot of like joy, just seeing that, because a little messaging, because to me, and I know most people know this, spirit comes in so many different ways. It comes in through the elementals, the elements of fire, earth, air, fire and water. Spirit comes through all them, it works through them. So you've got the air spirits. That's what I was looking at, the air spirits. So it was brilliant. Yeah, the veil is definitely thinning, exactly. And, you know, people go on about the apocalypse. It just means the thinning of the veils. Truths are coming out. Things are being seen. I'm not talking about shit on YouTube people talk about, because that just cracks me up. We're talking about the big guns. The big guns out there, what's being seen. But we're not getting carried away with it, you know what I mean? We're just letting that roll, because it is rolling. Nothing can be stopped. And I was laughing at Sylvester Stallone on Instagram yesterday, because he was like, Happy New Year, the best is yet to come. And I was like, boom, if you know where that saying comes from. And even Dolores Cannon said it in a video, which cracked me up as well. But yeah, it's all good. And I feel very energised today, very light. My eyes are nice and shiny. And yeah, I've got to get on painting, really. I know I won't be able to paint and talk at the same time. But art is a process, and when I look back on my art, some of it I laugh at, because I think, oh my God, look at that drawing, that was really like, thought it was good at the time, it wasn't, it was a bit crappy. But the more you do, the more you become better, and this is life. The more you do something, you know, you're putting actions on something and doing something, and what would the word be, working on that thing, which is yourself, but working on that thing that you want to bring into manifestation, it will do. My drawings are only getting better because I do a lot of it. So life is like, oh yes, Mr. T speaking on the 5th. Well, all I'll say is, get your binoculars on for that. You know, we know what's going on there. It's a big stage, and it's yeah, it's going to be a good year. It's still going to be a bit divided, but you know, as my sister would say, there's more and more people from the other side that didn't really like what we were saying, who are understanding now and sort of scratching their heads. That's all I'm going to say, because I'm not really talking about that now. But yeah, art is very much like life. To get good at something, you have to hone that ability. You have to work on yourself. So that's what it's like as well. You only become a better person by working on yourself, and realising things about yourself and why you get triggered, and why things are here that seem bad that aren't. It's just to help you move from a situation. You only stay stuck in it when you don't realise that. It's people that say they're aware, they're not aware, because it's like my fella said last night, if you're aware, you will start moving towards something to get yourself out of that situation. If you're unaware, 14 and 14 there, saying yes. If you're unaware, it's not like it's all right if you're unaware, but if you're unaware, you don't know what you're doing. And you can't move forward because you're unaware of what you're actually doing, the energy you're putting out, things that you're not doing that you should be doing. And it's all that sort of stuff. And that's how you move forward in your next cycle of life, and you cycle up. That's how I see it. It is the personal growth, your personal journey, your personal growth, your personal learning, your lessons that you need to learn to help you push forward. A lot of it is coming out of fear, because we all have fear. It can be all sorts of different things, like me and my art thinking, oh God, people aren't going to think it's good enough, blah, blah, blah. But I know that's bullshit, because when I did the stall I did, a few months ago now, they loved it. And the support of 17 in chat, the support that I get off, especially my fella, about it, and the lovely comments you put with my artwork as well, I know that's not true. It's just the ego not wanting you to push forward with something that you could bring in your life that's beautiful. And they'll get you out with fear of that. But the only way I know now this year to push forward is to push forward in that and make as much as possible and get it out there, and not fearing that. I'm not here anymore to try and think I'm here to save the world or wake people up, because I did go through that. I think most people do, because you love humanity, and even naysayers and everybody, it's like you want them to be well as well, but at the end of the day, you can only do what you do, and the only one that you're gonna, I wouldn't say save, because I think that's a bit of a daft word, is yourself. And as I've said before, once you do that, other people see you're happy. It's not because shit doesn't happen in your life. It's not because you don't still have things that bug you or down days. Of course you do. It's learning how to get around that and not letting it drag you down, because you know tomorrow's a different day and you can wake up in a new energy. You know, I've said this and said this before, and this is why I say there's some people that are listening and take it on board, and some people it isn't, because there's people that will never change, forget what is said. And that's why people repeat a lot of stuff. We like to put a lot of stuff out because people need to remember. They soon forget, they soon get caught up in the muggle world. We all do it. Like I said, shit happens. The other people around, there's people around you that can be shit, that try and bring you down. That can be family, friends, whoever. I'm talking about out there, not on YouTube. YouTube's, you know, YouTube. And that's why you've got to look at who you're around, who you let your soul be around, the people that you hang around with, the energy that you're letting off other people. Once, this is why I said, you've got your boundaries up, you're not taking no shit. That doesn't mean being nasty. That just means you don't have to hang around them people or taking what they're saying, and, you know, learn to, you know, get yourself some new friends or people that are in higher energies that, you know, have unconditional love and aren't just there to argue, fight and cause drama, because nobody needs that. Yeah, Robert, I do have support. I have support from a great guy that I'm with now, family, friends. I've always had that, really, because I've obviously in my life chose good family and friends. I wouldn't say partners all the time in the past, but the other way around. But don't look at others, you know, because some people out there, they get jealous when you talk about some stuff. You are doing as well as you can do. And when you are on your own, it can be hard sometimes, but then you've got to look at it like, sometimes it's easier in a sense because you don't have others' input around you that can sway you, put you off, get you in a bit of a shitty energy sometimes. So you've got that as well. But you're not on your own, because when you look in the chat, you might see other people saying it. And if you're on YouTube and you look at other things or what's going on, lots of people are in that position. So you're not actually on your own. Collectively, you're not on your own. And it is easier. It's a lot easier. Try being around people with all sorts of different perceptions when you've got yours, and like people are going crazy and you're trying to be calm in that knowing of what's going on, and it's mad. That's true power. But it is shit sometimes, and I'm not saying it's not shit. I come on here like, oh yeah, because most of the time I am like, oh yeah, but it doesn't mean I don't have shit times. It's just learning how to just not take that energy in. But you're not on your own. And that's why I come on YouTube, and that's why I come on live, so people like you can come into chat and talk to the other people that are in chat, and you all realise you're not on your own. You know, there's similar things you'll be going through to other people. We're all on different parts of our path. There's no levels. It's just some people are here, they're stuck, they're not moving, then they move a bit forward, and we move along, and that's how it is. It's a royal place, and they still are all for the Queen. Yeah, that'll be hard. If you're in a place where they're still all for the Queen, then fanfare I am, but just in that knowing that will fall. And can you imagine those people that don't know? So you might be in that area to hold the light for them people, if you get what I'm saying, because we all have to be in different places. We couldn't all be in the same place in the world, because that wouldn't make sense, because what about the other people around the world if we were all, say, only here, only in this one area? That's not going to do anybody any good. That when things start to come out more, that, you know, they need people to explain or show them. So we're dotted around everywhere, and maybe that's why you're there. Maybe that's why you're there. And maybe you're quite strong and you don't know it because you're in one of those areas, especially if you're down London. Jesus Christ. That's all I'm going to say. Ugh. It's the same for me, Robert. I'm a widow and I feel lost sometimes, but I come on YouTube, love and like Robert. Yeah, Jane. And that's why people share their experiences and you resonate with who you resonate with, because it gives people peace of mind that there's people that are, I would say, like me, many others out there on Instagram, YouTube, wherever, it doesn't have to be YouTube, that are shining the light, bringing the positivity. It's not saying their life doesn't have shitty bits. Mine does. That's life's ups and downs. It's how you work around it. But to show people that you're not on your own. And that's why I'll never shut up on YouTube until I feel like I've got nothing much to say, because my fellow would say, you're not here to save the world. And it's like, yeah, I know that. But I know that by speaking, it can give people peace. And if we didn't all care in that sense, you know, I think it's because the world's changing anyway, whether people like it or not. You know, the awakening's happening, whether people like it or not. But it's nice for people to see and have that, what would be the word, to realise people are having those experiences and sharing it and talking about it. Because there's a lot of people that fall in faith for humanity, and they need to see, no, there are good people out there and they're trying their best to bring it through all the, you know, put downs and this, that and the other, especially when you're on YouTube and you're talking about stuff. You know, I've spoke about people and I've commented on people who were really negative, and I did the other day to sort of tell somebody, but these people don't listen. There's a lot of people that are very, like I said, it's not because negativity isn't about and bad things don't happen, but very negative people who you can tell that something's happened in the past, because that's what a lot of it's to do with trauma in the past, childhood trauma, whatever, and they've lost faith in humanity because maybe they were in a bad relationship and this, that and the other. I've had bad relationships, really bad relationships, been abusive and everything, but I never give up hope there'd be somebody out there, a guy that would be nice and wouldn't do that. I don't tarnish someone in the same brush just because someone for. Other people do, and they lose faith in humanity and think there's nobody good and everything, you know. But I believe that's because they're getting that energy. So everybody to start meeting, they draw in that energy of people are shitty to them, or a shit experience happens because they're in that energy and they've not stepped out of it, because they're fearing all the time, thinking in the head, oh, what if they do this, what if they do that, and then it happens because they're drawing that energy, like attracts like. So a lot of people have lost faith, so everything's bad, everything's shit, everybody's this, everybody's that, you know, and they seem to forget that you are here on earth and you are allowed creature comforts to get through this earth plane, because it's quite a difficult plane to be in. And also, it's a bit like the Dolores Cannon videos, like she said, what was it she said? This is the most dense place to be in, to come and have an earth school experience. It's very dense and negative. So the things we're allowed to have, you're allowed to have them as long as you know they aren't everything, and this isn't even us anyway, we're all light. Hi Rainbow Wizard, hi Lois, hi everybody, Happy New Year. Keep your eyes open, might be taxes needed, I don't know yet. So you're allowed to have things to make it a little bit easier down here. It's just knowing that that isn't us. A lot of people get so caught up in that. If you're spiritual, you can't say this, you can't wear this, you can't wear makeup, you can't do this, you can't wear jewelry, you must be living in a loincloth on Mount Peru. That's a load of bollocks. So it's just about being a nice person at the end of the day. And if you make money and you become very rich, we're not talking about the stars, and not all of them are bad, but you know, some don't give back. You would find yourself with money where you'd be free, abundant, you know, financially free, where you could live your life creating so many beautiful things and actually bringing that for people and helping people, because you have the money to do so, and you have that much money that you can give it away and help build communities, and there's a lot of people that do that. If you've got that, you know, you're bringing that in. So people look at things so wrongly, especially in spiritual community. You're like, you can't have money, you can't do this. Oh, look at Dolly selling things. Yeah, my own things that I create and make. I just find it's absolutely hilarious. These are normally by people, by the way, that sit with nothing, moan about everything, are uncreative, and sit in poverty. And then you think, but you don't have to be in poverty. You're supposed to be abundant. Everybody can be abundant. There's enough room for everybody, even doing the same thing. So, and that's fair. It is fair. So I've learned a lot this year, and I'm so excited about this year, especially with the number 22, divine feminine energy going on there, So that's all I'm going to say on those subjects of all that. And I won't be bringing things up from last year. We're moving in new energy. I've got more art things to bring. Some other little bits I want to do that I'm not going to tell you about yet, because I don't know how it's going to do it, but I'm going to do it. With a few things I've shown before. But we're supposed to be limitless. You're supposed to be able to bring in what you want to, Dolly. Yeah, I am, Effie, and I'll do them soon. I thought I ordered some bottles, and I obviously didn't. And I was finding the ones I had before, but I don't think they do them anymore. So yes, I will be doing my essential oils. There's a lot of stuff, like my fella said, you need to make up a lot of stuff now and then get it out. So that's what I need to do, because I sort of just went a bit lazy. But yes, I will be doing, and I'll be bringing new ones out as well. I've got makeup one up for a woman who's got dry skin, but yes, I will be doing. Just keep an eye on Hippie Trinkets and Things shop on Instagram. But yes, I will. And I love, it's only my lavender one at the minute, but it's just ace, and it works all the time. It's got Reiki in it as well. But you're limitless. I laugh because people go, oh, Dolly contradicts herself. 1 minute she's talking about this, next minute she's talking about that. Yeah, whatever I'm interested in at the time, I will look at, bring forth, and then I might go to something else, because I do many different things. There's so many different aspects of self. And if you want to go and experience something, you do that to the best of your ability till maybe you get tired of it, or you want to learn something else because you're here to learn. You want to learn how to make jewellery, paint, sing, dance, whatever it is, then you go and learn it. You'll either keep it and you put it under your belt and you'll use it, or you'll move on to something else. I like to do all sorts of bits of things. So when I see something that I think is going to help me on my journey, especially to heal and to bring joy in, I'm going to talk about it. It's not about, she wasn't talking about that the other year. Like, you know, no, I may have been thinking about it, but it'll be like, well, I'm doing this first, then I might look at that, and then I'll go into this. And that's what I'm going to be doing, as I've always done. I just talk about the things I like to talk about. But yes, so, and it's easy, you know. It's all about action. I can say I've been lazy with action. Things tend to just flow in quite like, there's manifestations that flow in, you know, because you have to visualize that. But there's manifestations, big manifestations, that you have to visualize, you have to feel, but you have to put the action behind it. And it's not all the action I've been putting behind everything. And I know as soon as I do, and getting out of a bit of a lazy stage, it'll be boom time in my life. And I know that. And my fella said, but it will be, because I see that in you with, I'm not very good business-wise, but creatively I am. And all in chat, it's been a while, you have been missed, hope you are doing all great. Yeah, we are, and we've all pulled back a bit, you know, because we've been resting, because I'd say recharge, because this year is going to be quite a big year, I believe, with yourselves, with what you want to do. I'm not talking about just the truths that are coming out in the outside world that people are going to see, and all this, that, and the other. It's everything. I felt pretty negative lately, but picked up. Sounds weird, but I had a dream about you the other day. You just said you'll be okay and picked up straight away. I'm usually positive. It was weird. Oh, that's really good, brother. Is it Seamus? Because there's negativity goes about because there's a lot of collective energy, that there's a lot of negative people and energies and entities that are flying about because of what's going on. Oh, hello. And when people come in dreams, that's normally, I would say, the spirit self going over. You will be okay. We'll all be okay. Just know that you do have you can have negative thoughts and feelings sometimes, and sometimes it's not you. Like you just said, you don't normally feel negative. It's not you. It's the energy flying about in other people. Dark side's been trying a lot, do you know what I mean? And you've just got to remember, you're okay. You're living, you're breathing, you've got food, you've got a roof over your head, this, that, that, you're okay. Not to get caught in other people's things. So if I came to you in a dream and that's what I said, yeah. I've had 2 dreams this week, and I can't remember what they were. They were good. We were looking for something. We found something that was hidden, because all the things that are hidden are coming out. They're meant to be hidden for a reason. Go and check out the 2 videos that I put of Dolores Cannon on my community page if you don't know who Dolores Cannon is. Yeah, it was strange. Thanks for picking me up. You're welcome. That's all this channel's ever been about. I mean, my fella does say, you know, sometimes you've got to concentrate on this, that, and the other. And going to YouTube, I said, yeah, but YouTube's been a big part of my life, and it always will be, no matter what I'm talking about. But it will always be positive. as I'm saying, it doesn't mean shit doesn't happen in my life. It doesn't mean I don't cry. It doesn't mean I don't get upset about things. Of course I do. But I go back to, I know what picks me up. I don't have to come on here screaming and shouting and crying and, woo, woe is me and all that. We all know what that looks like. But, and we've all got different things we've got to get through. Hi, Big Brother. So, you know, it's all good. Have to go now, Dolly. You're beautiful inside out. Hope all in chat. Thank you, Jane of Turkey. You know, I have my shitty days. I can be a pain in the ass sometimes at home. Depends what, like you say, what may have put you in a bad mood in the morning or something. That's why you've got to try and start your morning off a good way. I'm normally quite good in the morning. And when I'm going to work, I'm looking at the sky and everything, and I'm just taking things in. I'm like, oh, yeah, it's quiet time, and it's nice at this time in the morning because it's very early when I go to work. My fella's really cranky in the morning, a bit moody in the morning until about 10 minutes after he gets up, or I could say half an hour, because that's just the way he is. He has to have 10,000 alarms going off to get out of bed, where I just have to have one and I'll get out of bed. I'll lie there for 5 minutes, but I'll get out of bed. People are different. And unconditional love is the biggest thing ever. Me and my partner have different opinions, only little opinions on different things. We got in a bit of a thing yesterday where we were like, but we know what the intent of what is within us, what we want to do. We know what our true intentions are, which are not nasty, which are not evil, which are not malevolent, you know. He's got good friends that are like that. They care. His friends all care for each other. They've all got different shit going on, you know, and good stuff like that. So when you put that aside, it's like you may not see this and I may not see that, whatever, but we do have one thing in common, is we know where our true intentions are coming from. So I'm going to go now because I need to get on with this painting. But I just wanted to say, you're all right. You're still here. You're still here, you know. People think you're going off planet. Ooh, 2022, we're going off planet. It's like, no, you're not. It's a consciousness of New Earth. Is a consciousness of the way we want to be. As some would say Jesus said. All it is about being good to others and don't do to others that you wouldn't do to yourself. It's about working on yourself. It's about working on yourself. It's about learning lessons. It's about moving forward. It's about bringing those things in that you want in life this year with action. Don't fear it. Go and do it. I've got to go and do it. There's little things I've feared about just in my little, they're not even big things. And that's what we were discussing yesterday. And that's what I burnt away as well when I did the burning in the garden. It was like, well, you know, good things have been coming in. The things that you fear sometimes aren't actually what you think they are. They're there to help you move, to help you see. The dark is there to help you see. If you don't know what I'm going on about, please go to my community page and find the video of The Little Soul and the Sun that I've read out twice of a children's book. That is the derivative of Conversation with God. It's the most beautiful story, easily said, of why the dark's there. So you know that you're the light. How would you know that you're the light? You need to be in the dark. This is on Earth where it's negative and dense. So that's all I'm going to say. Got a shoot, Dolly, meeting a mate in the pub. Oh, have a good time. I had a food drink yesterday. Have you known many who have had difficulty with their relationship? Yes, I have, Danny. To tell the truth, mine's been pretty good. And I did say yesterday, me and my fella got together in lockdown. One of the fucking craziest times you can get together with someone. And he's not been into everything that I'm into in such ways to do with shit going on out there. And we've had bits of ding-dongs, but we sort of, he knows what I talk about and feel, and I know what he talks about, so we don't really have to talk about it now because he knows. But we work through that. But yes, I do know people who've been having hardships that way, you know, maybe they've split up and stuff because of the differences, because this is the split. But what I would say, unconditional love is about, if you know certain things and maybe you're thinking they're not and they don't see it, a lot of people are very, very well programmed. So you've got to look at, like, it's not their fault. If you get on well otherwise, then that shouldn't really matter. Maybe just don't bring it up, because this shift has happened, is happening. People are going to see, people are seeing more, and don't worry about it. Just do you, be happy, shine your light, and they'll come through and they'll ask you why in the end. And it won't be that we told you so. It'll just be, how did you not know? How did you not see it? It was blatantly put in your face. But like I said, new year, new energy. it's about more love. So yeah, where we go, one we go all, exactly. So you know, I don't worry about people saying, oh, this, that, and the other, and I thought you said this, that, and the other, and it's like they don't understand what's coming in. They go off time and certain things, and as we say, there's lots going on behind the scenes. The media aren't going to show you properly. There will be a time, there is, but not yet. And this is why I say, you know, I said to a fellow the other day, I said, media are the biggest enemy. The way they edit, I mean, I've had people doing that, it's hilarious, and get the job in media. The way they edit and show things and do things, and only put people up there that are talking, you know, more of their side. Not all the time, but you can see what it is. And when you look around the world, they're all saying the same thing. So it's a bit like, yeah, not really sovereign there, are they? So yeah, but like I said, it's a new energy. I feel very bright today. I can feel it. Just looking at the sky now. Beautiful. I got that message in yesterday with the butterfly wings, fairy sort of angelic mold sylphs in the sky, and that to me was a transformation. That was for me. We've got 17 in chat again, but it's also what's happening within a lot of people is we're all going through it. We're all going through the birthing pains. So, you know, like I said, people who say they're on their own, you're not really on your own, because a lot are going through it. Whether you're with somebody or not, it doesn't really matter. I believe maybe I'm with someone now because I need that support now of like, not needed, but I might be there to support them, because I've had a lot of time on my own. And I had my little one and stuff that went on. So, you know, working on myself then doesn't mean I'm there, because we never are. You'll always be working on yourself. So, you know, I've looked at last year. I know where I need to work on myself, and it's not going to be a thing that comes in like that, because it's breaking programming down and habits. I know what it is that I need to do, and it's the steps that I need to take forward. That's why I'm going to write it down, my goals and stuff. And it's when you look at it, it's manifestation. You visualize it, you feel it, you see it, you know it's coming, but you have to take them action steps, which that's what you've got to do with bigger things. And maybe write that down. What steps do you have to take to bring this and this in? If you want to go and learn something, I mean, I know YouTube's a great place, but you can go and learn something. This is an example. And you know you need to go and get some, you need to go to college or night school or something. You need to go and do a course on it, just because, you know, you want maybe you want to know the details of it. There's great stuff you can learn on YouTube, but sometimes you need a little bit more, and that's up to the people to do that or not. That's up to you to go, I've got to start researching where I can go to do this, and then I'm going to have to ring up and find out if I can get on this course, and then I'll do that, and then I'll do that, and then I'll learn it, and that's how you do it. So it's not all about sitting there thinking, oh yeah, this is going to come to me. Actually, it's not. And I know that from experience. Some things do, but some things, like, for example, before I go, I manifested this. I had to put it down on paper, on a physical form. I had to take action to sit down and do this picture, which isn't finished yet. I'm going to finish it. To get this out into the world, to print it, I'm going to have to finish it, print it, advertise that, whatever, get it out there. Because otherwise, some really strange people out there would say different. I'm not just going to think that it's going to draw itself and it's going to go out in the world and people are going to buy it. No, it needs a little bit of action behind it, if you get what I'm saying. So some things are manifested in certain ways cosmically, but there's a lot of big things you need to do in your life where you have to put the action behind it. So if I didn't do that, I can't, because there's a lot of people like this, I can't go around blaming somebody or blaming other people saying, oh, you know, this has happened. So blah, blah, blah. It's like, I didn't do it. So it's not going to come in. So I can't look at other people that are doing stuff and doing well with their, I don't know, creations, because they've gone and done it, stuck it out there, working towards it day and night. And you're sitting there going, I wish I could do that. Oh, I feel jealous. You know, I'm going to say this and say that. No, it's because you're not doing it. And it can take time. It could take a year or 2 years, but it's normally the people that progress in that. It's took them that many years, but they've worked hard on it, and then they reap what they sow. So plant the seeds, water it, keep watering it, don't give in, because it's normally that bit where you give in, it's just about where things are beginning to flip. That's what I believe. So, you know, yes, it's your movie on the realm, you make it what you believe in. Yes, you do, Leafy. Just like I said, if people don't know who Dolores Cannon is, go and listen to the 2 videos I put up. You're the star on your stage. It's up to you what you want to bring in. That's why I say people who go around blaming people for things that aren't in their lives are the ones who sit there and do nothing, working towards whatever. That's fair. So with that, I just seem like a dragon's head in the sky then. With that, I'm going to go because I need to get some of this painting before my fella comes back. See now it's drying, and maybe when it's done at some point I'll show you the colour, but like I said, it is ostrich egg blue, so it's a bit darker than duck egg blue. Should have gone that for Tiffany blue maybe, but anyway, yeah, so I will be getting this finished off, or I'll never get it out in the world, and I will see you very soon. Happy New Year, New Earth. Thanks everyone for coming in, and a few faces and that, not faces, people that I haven't seen for a bit. I will catch up with you very, very soon. I'm not going to say when, maybe tomorrow, I don't know. Might do some card pulls, but check out my community page because I do put a few bits up there. I was on it last night. You know, a few cards and stuff like that. But remember, release, let go. We're in a new cycle now, so you really need to have done that. And work towards your goals, write them down. I need to write mine down. I've learnt last year that I really do need to organise myself. I hate being organised, but I do realise it's a thing that I do need to do because I do forget things sometimes. And like I'm repainting here, my fella's getting me going that way. Because I'm not a mundane person, you know, with certain things. I'm like, oh, the mundane work does me head in. We're all a bit like that. But just getting motivated again. Getting motivated with this new year, you know, it's going to become lighter and lighter. And then springtime, you know, reborn again. We're going to summer with all that beautiful energy. So we've got a lot to look forward to. And then the sky's brightening up now as I'm saying that. So remember, it's you and your story. It's what you tell yourself. If you know... If you think people are doing things to you and all that, that's what you're going to believe. But that isn't my story. No one's doing anything to me. I bring in things because of what I'm doing or saying, and what I choose to take responsibility or not, because that's basically what it's all about. Happy New Year. Is it Zazaban? Might have said that wrong, I don't know. And Happy New Year to any new people that might have come in, because I knew that I've seen a few, and I've seen a few come and say hi on my artwork, so thank you very much. I will be doing more art stuff this year, because to me they all have messages in, and I'm going to be doing a lot of fairy stuff and things like that. And yeah, sorry, I'm just looking at the sky, but like I said, I'm going to have to go or I'll never get this done, and I need to put the action in to get it done. So I will see you all soon. Have a beautiful New Year's Day and onwards, and remember, you're not on your own. Everybody's going through this, and I will see you soon. Bye. And it ended on 17. Bye.